Hey, Chris Liepe here with another Michael Jackson listening and analysis session. Leave Me Alone from Bad. Interestingly enough, it only appeared on the CD version and the 2001 cassette version. I told one of my friends I was making this video, and he goes, "Yes, love that song." I remember saving up for a CD player just so I could get the version with this song on it. So I thought that was kind of cool. I get to do lessons like this on this channel because it's a singing channel. I teach people how to sing. And one of the best ways to learn how to sing is by listening to your favorite singers and studying their approach and not trying to sound like them necessarily, but putting their approach in your own voice as you experiment. And because I teach people how to do that, I get to use tracks like this under fair use. But it does mean that I need to stop and start. I can't just play everything all the way through. If you want to listen to the song all the way through, just go listen to it on Spotify, or better yet, go buy the album. And then enjoy all the little insights you get from this video as we dig in track by track, piece by piece. So much fun. If you want more help with your own voice specifically, click the link below and join my free voice course, and I'll help you dial in the techniques you need to start learning from singers like Michael Jackson. All right. Let's get into this. As has become tradition, let's start by listening to some of the rhythm section. We'll build the mix. I just love how we get so much of our modern mixing and arranging from these songs, and hearing how things are put together and samples are layered. Like just listening to like the crack and the snare together and how those samples perfectly complement one another. I mean, check this out. Right? You have the lower sound and shorter, and then you almost have this reverb and sustain and break up at the top. So cool. There's the hook. That's a summed track. What's interesting about this mix too, listen to how those parts push and pull with each other, right? It's like this call and answer. So cool. Quincy Jones knows what he's doing. Great song. That cool dissonance, right? That minor seventh interval in there. Yeah. I love the electric guitar riff, how that comes in there. More sense. And then these solos, these are interesting to hear by themselves. But listen. You hear this sort of percussive thing happening, this high harmonic thing happening with this track. It's an octaver effect. And then you hear the more organic sounding sax. What a cool blend. It's neat to separate them a little bit more than you hear in the eventual mix, right? Yeah, really neat. All right, let's get into the vocals. Ow! Love that you can hear the bleed in the track. This is something I've really been getting into, inspired by Michael Jackson. Like, not that I'm going to do it half as well as what he does, but this idea of just putting a rhythm in your body before you start to sing. And make some sounds with your mouth. It really, really helps with your overall vocal delivery. And this is something Michael just does so naturally, but you better believe he's trained that into his approach. Right there, right?
I don't care what you talking about, baby. I don't care what you say. Don't you come walking, begging back, mama.
I mean, that rhythm, oh, it's so cool how the main track is, you know, there's this like triple, the rhythm genius of this melody and how it dances with the track is just, oh, genius. And then his little rhythmic additions that happen only further that interplay. It's just...
Don't you come walking, begging back, mama. I don't care anyway. Time after time I give you all of my money.
Now there, the rhythm change. It's like, it's more straight and playing with the track in a very specific way, as opposed to earlier, you hear the...
I don't care what you talking about, baby.
That very, it's not totally triplet, but that sort of sound.
Time after time I give you all of my money.
Crazy.
No excuses to me. Ain't no mountain that I can climb, baby. All is going my way. Cause there's a time when you're right and you know you must fight. Who's laughing, baby?
I just love the waterfall that happens with these background vocals here. I mean, this is so cool. Right here.
There's a time when you're right and you know you must fight.
The chords that are made. Now listen to this one with the...
And there's the choice that we make, and this choice you must take. Who's laughing, baby?
Now listen to the this effect on here.
It's the choice that we make, and this choice you will take.
It sounds like a bit of a phaser on there. That's pretty cool sounding.
And this choice you will take.
Yeah, that's... I wouldn't have heard that. Now when I go back and listen, I'll hear it, but to the full mix. But so cool.
Baby, oh, you know, and there's the choice that we make, and this choice you must take. Who's laughing, baby? So
his agility was just top notch too, right? He can be gritty and work around these runs. Yeah, nobody was like this.
Laughing, baby. So just leave me alone, girl. Leave me alone. Leave me alone, girl.
Now I want to point out his placement here. There's a reason this sounds so amazing. He has this tendency when he sings up there. And I'm going to lower it a little bit so you can, you know, not be distracted by the fact that I'm not singing like him in his range, but leave me alone, leave me alone. Like, listen, this resonant shift on alone makes it extra weepy and extra cry sounding.
Alone.
Leave me alone, right? It's that sort of shift. Leave me alone. It makes it so much more interesting. It's not just leave me alone. That would be more boring. There's more emotion seeping out through his voice because he's moving his placement around to a large degree.
So just leave me alone, girl. Leave me alone. Leave me alone, girl. Leave me alone. Stop it. Just me around.
Oh, now listen specifically to here.
You know,
You hear that shift. Right? We've got this movement that's happening and where he places his voice. And it sounds totally different because his voice is his and my voice is mine. But try some of those things. If you're a singer at all, try moving things around and see what you can pick up from this approach. That's why it's so interesting. It's not just that wonderful rasp. It's that movement of sound resonance happening as he places these notes. Harmonies over that chorus.
leave me alone. Leave me alone.
Oh.
Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Just stop dogging me.
I've always wanted to hear the "Leave me alone." I've always wanted to hear those by themselves. Let's see.
Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Just stop dogging me.
One more time.
Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Just stop dogging me.
So cool. So pure sounding. All the contrasts in Michael's voice. Back to percussion, Mike.
There was a time I used to see girls and
I can't help but like breathe rhythmically as I'm listening to him. It's so crazy.
dogging me around. There was a time I used to see girls and need you, but you is alright now. You really hurt, you used to take and deceive me. Now cool is alright now. You got a way of making me.
His grit and distortion is really one of a kind. He's got this ability to sound airy and not guttural, even though it is technically kind of a guttural sound.
You got a way of making me feel so sorry.
It's almost like it's sped up, but it's not. Like the voice doesn't sound sped up, but the distortion sort of does. I don't really know another way to describe it.
Me feel so sorry. I found out right away.
It's just on the upper end of his voice. A lot of people, when they try to add grit, yeah, there's these lower sounds that come in, and Michael is able to skirt that with his approach. Part of that is that he's got it really high up in his vocal tract. He's engaging the very highest part of his false chord area to hold back that air. But so unique.
You got a way of making me feel so sorry. I found out right away. Don't you come walking begging, I'm loving you. Don't you get in my way. 'Cause there's a time when you're right.
Let's listen to those at the background vocals.
'Cause there's a time when you're right, and you know you must fight. Who's laughing, baby?
I love the way that it like stair steps down in those different chords.
Don't you know? And it's the choice that we make, and this choice you will take. Who's laughing, baby? So just leave me alone, girl. Leave me alone. Leave me alone, girl. Leave me alone. Stop it. Just stop dogging me around.
Now, listen to this right here. This is so cool. We listen to this part,
Just stop dogging me around.
and then we hear this part.
Just stop dogging me.
Listen to how the me in the lead track almost gets lost. The background vocals take over in terms of the how you hear it balanced.
Just stop dogging me around.
But it's there. It's still there, but it's cool how they sort of trade places.
Leave me alone. Stop it. Just stop dogging me around.
That happens in a lot of other... Blood on the Dance Floor has a lot of that kind of thing, too, where there's this interplay between vocal parts. Really neat. Those wonderful sighs that he was able to do up there in his upper head voice. You can hear the mic proximity changing, you know, as he sort of digs into that sound and digs into that feel in his voice. So cool. I also love that you can hear that. You can hear him tapping his foot, you know, as if you can see him in the studio, just tapping and clapping and all sorts of, oh.
Cause there's a time when you're right and you know you must fight. Who's laughing, baby? Don't you know? It's the choice that we make.
The really neat thing about this, as he gets more gritty and more passionate towards the end, there's more improv that he does. He moves away from just following what those background vocals do.
It's the choice that we make. Who's laughing, baby? So just leave me alone, girl. Leave me alone.
The movements in those chords underneath are priceless. And the that sound, it almost sounds synthy, but it's him.
Leave me alone, girl. Leave me alone. Stop it. Just stop talking. Leave me alone, girl.
I've always liked that turnaround.
Leave me alone. Leave me alone, girl. Leave me alone. Stop it. Just stop dogging me around.
And then we get some awesome percussion improv here towards the end. Just love it.
Don't come begging me. Don't come begging. Don't come loving me. Don't come begging.
I'm going to play this percussion part out, just the vocals, and tell me that you don't start moving and breathing along with it. You can't help it. It's contagious.
Don't come begging me. Don't come begging. Don't come loving me. Don't come begging. I don't love you. I don't want it. I don't. Oh!
Right there, it's like he's a horn player. The way he's phrasing his voice there, so cool.
Oh!
Right here.
I don't want it. I don't. Oh! Don't come begging me. Don't come begging. Don't come loving me. Don't come begging. I don't love you. I don't want it. I don't need it. I don't love you.
One of the finest Michael Jackson tracks, I think, for being lost in the groove. And it's because of that interplay between the instrumental arrangement and what Michael does rhythmically, how he pulls that rhythm and plays with it a little bit in the lead vocal. So incredible. Thanks for requesting more Michael Jackson stuff. I'm going to keep doing them as long as you keep watching them and as long as there are more songs to do. Again, if you would like more help with your voice, putting certain sounds and sensations into your voice so that you can sing freely and be inspired by your favorite singers, click that link below and join my free course. We'll see you for more.